Hello, welcome back. If you ever came here in the first place, I've had a pretty long hiatus. A year and a half would definitely make anybody be like, who is this guy? But I'm back. Once again, viewer discretion is advised. My language may get antsy, and it might fly right off the handle. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I know. I let some things carry on, go far beyond me. But as a consistent consumer of Naruto content, right, for the past 5, 6 years, pretty much for the notion that I didn't even know people were on YouTube making Naruto content. But no, 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 no. It's great to watch all of you evolve in such beautiful ways and enhance your content. It's great. I wanted to bring my own thing to the field, right? Just so we can all somehow come to a clear notion of what needs to be said about Boruto to Blue Vortex, the continuation of Boruto Naruto Next Generation, and Naruto Shippuden, and Naruto the series as a whole. The entire envelope that it comes in, it is a beautiful thing. Why do I say that? Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm 30. Okay. Started consuming the Naruto anime probably around the time Toonami probably aired, or maybe a little after that. So, 2008, 7, maybe. 2008, 7, somewhere around there. I remember when Adult Swim came. So, that should probably put you around the timeline of what I'm thinking, talking about. Anyway, I think my new purpose is to try and bring the adult viewpoint inside of it, because there's a wide range of ages inside of anime in general, but when we're talking about, oh man, just experience, life experience first, and then being able to decipher that inside of a graphic novelization, better way to put it, more or less. I think we need a more direct approach, because some of y'all, the irrationality that comes from some of you is amazing. The theories are some of y'all's theories be slicing it right there. Pow, critical hit, boom, super effective, but at the same time, it's you might not get that validation until months down the line. And even if you do get a piece of validation, you want to act like you knew the world was ending. I think we could all come together. I think if we can all come together, and spirit bomb through the context. I think that maybe we could get to a better point of following the story, because it's just, anyway. I'm sorry. It's around 8:30. Is it 8:30? It's about to be 9 o'clock here in Texas. So, drop my family off at school. Everything's great at the moment. But, yeah, man. Welcome I am your solar sensei, here to shine some light along with you guys. The spoilers have leaked, and I'm blown the fuck away right now. I literally don't even know how to feel about them even having the capability to unlock somebody from this ultimate jutsu type thing. I mean, like, you being stuck in it. You imagine being stuck in a tree, right? Petrification, right? There's like two different forms of petrification that we've seen, not only in the Boruto anime, but also in the Naruto Shippuden manga and anime. Petrification. I find this to be a form of petrification. Just being able to stop people in their tracks with a thing that bites them, right, and takes their chakra and turns them into a whole nother being. I find that to be a form of petrification. Why do I say that? Well, like I said, Mount Miyabuku, and I'm sorry, I think I'm lost for words on the Great Snake Plains, Ryuchi Cave. Sorry, wow, I say Great Snake Plains. That's crazy. Ryuchi Cave, right? And in the Boruto anime, they found snakes petrified, right? And what do we know from Mount Miyabuku? That if you absorb too much of the nature energy, if we go off of Mount Miyabuku's specific guidelines only, when you absorb too much nature energy, you end up becoming a frog and petrifying, or becoming a frog, or you become toad-like. So if we take those same principles and put them in Ryuchi Cave, people who couldn't contain that chakra, harness it, reuse it, whatever, right? They became petrified snakes. This is also where Boruto met a snake named Garaga, who also has his right eye blown out, right? By a friend. Either, right? Continue. With Jura's or the Claw Grime's ability to bite somebody and make them petrified is also a derivative from what the Ten Tails does to people. Right? Being able to take their chakra and then store it inside of itself. That is an ability. Jura does not display the ability of doing that. They have the urge of doing that, right? They have the urge of absorbing chakra, becoming grander, right? But it ultimately just housing that chakra. So what is Jura, right? And I know I did a whole long 8 minute in the beginning because I had to get to this point, right? My main thing is about Jura, the petrification process, and what he really is. Jura has brought so much damage to the story just by using knowledge or being curious. It's kind of terrifying. When you look back at certain movies that have those same principles, it's kind of terrifying. Even mangas and animes that do that, man, like Hunter x Hunter and Meruem. Like, oh my god, ooh, this guy's sitting here playing chess all day? Why? Why is this ultimate being sitting here playing chess, learns 1,000,000,000 different things, and then I turn around and fight an old guy with experience that can use the 1,000-arm canine base? My point being is, Jura is a force to be reckoned with, right? And if he wants to absorb Naruto, what does that mean? specifically. Beyond him being the Ten Tails and what we can come up with that, I'm going to stick on the fact of Otsutsuki, right? Ishiki was capable. Okay, first, if Ishiki and Kaguya ran into each other, Ishiki would recognize Kaguya's life signature, however they describe what an Otsutsuki is, right? Even if they do identify it as quote unquote chakra, right? It's a life force for them. It's their actual being, right? Just like it technically is for ninja, but it's not. Continuing. If Jura and Kaguya met, he recognizes her chakra signature, right? And then we're gonna take these two. We're gonna have Kaguya here, Ishiki here. Kaguya cuts Ishiki in half, right? So one half is his upper torso, and the bottom half is waist below. Keep in mind on this waist below, the upper half goes on Earth, is on Earth, right? So apparently they met on Earth. On Earth. Which means if Kaguya's backstory is not falsified information, all of this stuff is canon, all of this stuff is usable, all this stuff has to be understood. Just like if you were watching filler, you would have to get the context from that and use it to understand what's going on in the story. And like I said, and I believe I said it in one of my videos that are produced or are on YouTube. If not, it was one of my old videos that was in my broken phone, and I'm so distraught. But when I say it again, but it's an old video that I said that Momoshiki is kind of like Hiroko from Naruto, The Will of Fire. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to my video. Ishiki's upper half goes in a monk named Jigen, bites his brain, implants a karma seal, basically taking over his body in general, just saying that he's taking his nutrients and all this other stuff, right? And then you got the bottom half. Where's the bottom half? A lot of us speculate, right, that his bottom half could possibly have gotten eaten by a Ten Tails that Kaguya had found on that planet, but otherwise, how would she had looked normal coming to the planet? If she looked normal coming to the planet, I'm going to take that and say, no, she was normal when she came to Earth and encountered humans. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say she was normal when she came to Earth and encountered humans. And Ishiki, which is, first off, when I say that, she was normal when she came here and encountered humans because Momoshiki only recognizes her chakra signature on the planet. And then when we look at the story of Boruto, when he sees Ishiki, he is highly upset. Momoshiki don't fuck with Ishiki. Why? What does that mean? Boom. Put that to the side. Continuing, right? Where's the bottom half of Ishiki? If they travel in pairs, if Otsutsuki travel in pairs, and they hold a Ten Tails with them to seed the planet, where's the Ten Tails that they brought with them? Right? And then you gotta look at it as like, is that Ten Tails the one they brought with them? Continue. Which means, okay, no, can't continue. Which means that Ten Tails recognizes Ishiki and Kaguya's chakra signature. Period, point blank, it recognizes I keep saying Otsutsuki, but Otsutsuki chakra. But it actually recognizes Kaguya and Ishiki's chakra because that is their Ten Tails in this barren land where nothing exists. Where is that at? We really don't know. Continuing, right? Wow, I feel like I got snot running from my face. Golly, man. Continuing. I believe in my first theory that comes from the bottom half of Ishiki's legs. This is why Jura's pants are tattered. How can you create beings with full pants? How? How do you create beings with a whole poncho tarp shit? Motherfucking Matsuri had fucking hair, my nigga, that wasn't her hair. Looked like part of an outfit, like she looked like Harley Quinn. Okay, but continuing, you can create pants for Matsuri and Hidari, a poncho, but you can make pants for Ryu. You can make a poncho for goddamn what's it, Momushi. But Jura's pants is fucked up. He almost got shoes, my nigga. But his pants fucked up. I mean, it's oh god. Jura having those tattered pants either identifies to me that when Kaguya cut Ishiki in half, the Ten Tails either ate those legs or she is the Ten Tails that ate those legs. The Ten Tails in the dimension that Jigen had, that Ten Tails, right? Or Kaguya, who had already absorbed the Ten Tails, ate his legs. Continuing, right? Because I also mentioned Jura wanting Naruto. We're talking about Jura, the craziest motherfucker in the world, right? Jura wants to devour Naruto. Jura wants to devour Naruto, doesn't recognize, well, finds out that he does want the Nine Tails, but he wants Naruto specifically. Why would he want Naruto specifically? Let's go back to Naruto Shippuden. The Ghetto Mazo had to take in all of the chakra of the 9 Biju to turn into not only the 10 tails, but to also harvest whose chakra? Later on when we find out, right? Because we're fucking teenagers and we don't know nothing. We're just stupid. Like, harvesting whose chakra? Kaguya. Yes. So, running right back, Naruto must have became a pseudo Ten Tails. He had became somewhat like a Ghetto Mazo, right? He must also be holding a form of Otsutsuki DNA because of all the chakra that he holds within him from the tailed beast. Yes. And by completing it with Six Path Sage Mode, which he had already went through, right? Even though the power was taken from him, he could still have residually transmuted that chakra into that. It could have turned into. He's Asura's reincarnate, which means he was already born with pieces of Otsutsuki DNA inside of him. Technically, everybody's Otsutsuki, but we're talking about the validity of them being Otsutsuki. What makes them more Otsutsuki? Genes, genetics. The chakra imprint is one thing. When we're talking about chakra imprinting, okay, that's one thing. But when you get into the fact that your genetics turn into something, and I'm not the brightest fucking light out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the brightest light in the world, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty positive that genetics have more to do with it than just something simply saying, well, his chakra signature or his chakra became. No, Naruto is damn near pseudo Otsutsuki, right? Going back to Jura. Jura wants to understand how Naruto was capable of possessing Otsutsuki genetics as well as the chakra of an Otsutsuki without becoming the divine tree. My hella reach theory, right? This is my whole thinking of Jura. And I'm gonna be ending the video in a few seconds, in a few minutes. Jura is not only now what I believe to be the bottom half of Ishiki, but with the information we have, him being blood ties through the claw marks of Code, he's also a part of Shibai, whose original tree body was left here that Kaguya ate. But see, we gotta go back some time. We gotta go back a few thousand years. Right? Which inserts Ishiki into the story, which kind of follows some things through that I was saying. But, and here's the catch, when Kaguya ate the fruit, or even before Kaguya ate the fruit, she had became affected by something. As an Otsutsuki, she had became affected by something. Not only her, but she was capable of affecting the ones around her and creating almost a civil war between the ninjas. Until they all came for her. And see, now that just clicks some other things in my brain that I'm going to have to put to the side. I'm going to bring it back to Jura, right? Jura is also not, and to say this once, Jura is not affected that we know of by omnipotence. Continue. Jura is what I believe to be what Amato believes Shibai is. Jura is the actual curiosity of Amato. See, like I'm definitely like metaphorically speaking, right? So I'm gonna say it like a little more. Jura is what Amato is looking for. Jura is what Amato is wanting. But Amato doesn't know that because you don't know you're just making hypothesis after one thing after. I'm throwing things out there. Next thing you know it, in every sci-fi movie, what happens? The scientist is doing things and miscalculates and something occurs. Green Goblin uh, the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things. Hell, the Red Skull. You know, I it's so many different ways to look at it. It's so many different ways to look at it. I believe Jura is not is Shibai's becoming, learning that he is a part of Ishiki, but he is a derivative of Shibai itself. You know, he possesses an ability. See, and I'm gonna go back to Naruto Shippuden real quick. He possesses an ability that Obito had, right? Obito was able to only control the thorns in the wood and things like that. He was not able to literally use wood release. It was a limited version. He could not spawn floor. You know what I mean? He could not spawn flowers like he was using Hashirama cells in real deal time. Like, you know what I mean? No. He was able to sprout roots and things like that. Obito was also what? A Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Jubito was a monster, and I think making a comparison between Jubito and Jura is what we should be looking at instead of Jubidara. You know what I mean? Like, or even Kaguya herself. We got to look at the people who utilize the chakra instead of actually were the chakra. Like, you know what I'm saying? And also another thing, right? Why is Kaguya and Momoshiki's horn, like both of their horns are different from Kinshiki and Ishiki's horn? Just another note. Well, that's it. It's my little spew for today, man. Yeah. Got some things to think about. Got some more things to think about. I don't really write things down. I don't have a script per se, but I do want to produce these things. Eventually get somebody in here, or some of you guys in here, to talk about some things. We're not going to argue. This is not a debate. We can have a nice civil conversation. I'm going to figure out how to get all this Discord stuff going for myself. And I want to see you guys, man. I want to meet some people out here, man. I got to get some other viewpoints. You know, no matter how big or small we might be looking at it. You know. I think the conclusion is out there, and we can all just enjoy the fact that we were right at the end of the day. Like when we're fucking 37 and we stop paying attention into it, and then we come back and then we're like, oh shit, it's done, and it's finally over. It's about to be 40 and it's finished. Like, so, but yeah, I want to see you guys, man. I want to meet you guys, you beautiful people. Like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever, man. I want to see you guys on the battlefield, bro. I want to see you guys on the front line. It's your Solar Sensei, and I'm checking the fuck out. See you later.